Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Berserk figure Schierke by Bandai. Now, she looks like she's pretty cool. I've been really noticing lately Bandai has been focusing on figures that are after the eclipse. So they did, the Black Swordsman Guts. They did the Hawk of Light with Griffith, and now we got Schierke. So I'm really excited to be opening her up. It's kind of cool that they are doing, I guess it'd be considered post-apocalypse figures. So with that being said, first off, I want to say thank you to everybody who subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed and you watch this video and you do like it, then I ask that you please subscribe and also check out my Berserk playlist. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. Alright, so here she is in packaging. I do like the packaging for this. I like this soft purple. It kind of suits the character, especially seeing how her outfits are purple and what have you. But no, it's a little bit soothing. It works for her. So first off, you have your S.H.Figuarts, Bandai Namco. You got an open window so you can see her and her accessories. You have this nice art from the manga, Berserk, your official Bandai stickers. Right. Spin her around this way. You get this nice profile picture of the toy, which looks really cool. I do like that. Figuarts up there, her name. Spinning around here. You got some nice pictures of the figure, her different facial expressions. She also comes with a ghost for the Berserker armor, which is really nice. So if you do have the guts and Berserker armor, you can use that with that. Get a little bit of legal underneath. Spin around this side. You get another picture of the figure, Figuarts, her name, and one of the I believe they're like a golem, if I remember right, from the Fairy Island. Spin it around here. You have another picture of the figure, Figuarts, and her name. And then underneath you have some more legal. So with all that being said, let's open her up and see what she's about. So here she is out of packaging. I do like the overall look to her. She definitely captures the whole look from the manga. So first off, we're going to start with the rotation. So you have this side here. Okay. Spin her around to the back. Bring her here. And back around again. So that's your rotation. I want to get a closer look at this figure. So let's open her out of here. Oops. So first off, I love the head detail. Looks really nice. They definitely captured the look. I like this little stone here. Here's a better look at the back. I know the stand was in the way when I did the rotation. So there's not a whole lot of special detail to her. But overall, she is a good looking figure. So now, get her back onto her clamp. Let's start going through her points of articulation. So first off, her head does move. Right? She has a shoulder joint with a swivel. She has an elbow joint. And she has a wrist joint. Get those arms up there. Let's take this off of her while we're going through the joints. She does have a joint right underneath the ribs. And she has one at the hips. Spin her around this way. All right. Try to open that up a little bit so you can see joints. She does have a thigh joint. All right. She should have a swivel up there, and she does. All right. She has a knee joint. All right. She does have another swivel right here at the top of the shoe. Right. She has an ankle joint and a toe joint. So all her joints work very well. I don't have any issues with any of the movement of her joints. Now she does come with a bunch of accessories. So first off, she comes with a cloak. All right. She comes with a staff. She comes with a hat. All right. She comes with a purse. She comes with a little golem. She comes with a spirit form of herself. Now, this is meant to go with Guts that comes with the Berserker armor. So if you have that figured, then she'll work fine with that. If you don't, well, I guess you got to get them. I know I do. All right. Also, you got a little magnet here, and I'll explain that one in a minute. You have 3 different faces for her. You have this face here, the blushing face. You have her eyes closed, so when she goes into meditation, you have that face. Right. And then, of course, you have an angry face. Now, she comes with a whole bunch of little hands, too. So she has this hand here. She has another open hand. And it's hard to show these hands because my hands are so big. Okay. She has 2 closed, no, a holding hand here. That's a holding hand. And she should have another holding hand. Alright. And then she has 2 more semi-holding hands. These might be for the wand. Or actually, maybe it might be for her to do magic incantations. Alright. So now that we looked at everything, let's go over some of these a little bit more. So first up, the golem. His arms do move. Alright. So that's pretty much the limit of what he can do. Alright. Oh, one of his arms came off. No. Alright. Next, you have the spirit form of her. Now, there's metal in here because this magnet is supposed to hit onto her. So when you put her on the guts, apparently this clicks on the guts, and then the magnet will hold her on there. So that's actually a pretty neat idea. I do like that overall. So now let's start working at getting some of these accessories on her. So let's take her off of there. Let's work with the cape first. All right, don't look like this opens up. So you might have to take the head off to put it on, which is not a big deal. So you take her hair off. And her head is 2 pieces. So you have your front, and you have the back. Usually the back just pops off, but okay, or we do it like that. All right. So now she has her iconic cape. All right, pop that back on. So now the nice thing about this cape is it does have a wire frame in it. And that wire frame allows you to pose it in all sorts of different positions. The same with the Griffith Hawk of the Light. You know, his cape does the same thing. Unfortunately, Guts didn't get the same treatment. His capes were like trash. So maybe they learned something from those figures. I don't know. But as you can see, the cape does move around. So now we're going to go through her different faces. This thing back onto her. Arms out of here like this. On her like that. All right. So first off, let's go through this face. Clips right in. No issues. Now, we're not going to put the hair on with each one just because it just kind of take a little too much time. All right. That fits on there like it should. No issues. And now her angry face. All right. That fits on as well. Matter of fact, we'll pop the hair on with this one. So, as you can see, all of her different faces fit on her pretty well. I don't have any issues with that. Now it's time to mess with the hands. And usually these are the type of hands that I have issues with just because I don't like how they work. But sometimes they work great. Other times they can be a pain. So let's take this hand off. Oh, see, okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So what happened was the whole piece just came out. So this is a ball joint here. And it's two-sided. And what's supposed to happen is it was supposed to come out at the wrist, at the end of the hand, not at the wrist. So let me get one of my needle noses in here somewhere. Oh, that ain't gonna work. All right, well, this will have to work. All right, let me see if I can pull that out of there. But I want to be gentle because there it goes. All right. So that whole piece came out. Let's get that back in there. All right. Pops back in, no issues. And now I got to get a hand on there. So that hand can go over there. I'm going to try to put another hand in there without popping that off again. All right. So let's try this hand. Oops. Oh, should fit on there. All right. So that hand fits in there pretty well. No issues. All right. Let's try another one for this arm. Let's try this one. All right. That pops in there. No issues. All right. And last but not least, let's get the holding hand. All right. All right. So those hands swapped out pretty well after that piece came out. Now we're going to try the other side. All right. Shouldn't be any issues on the other side, but if you do one side, you should probably do the other. And boom, that popped off pretty well. I'm going to get this open hand here. All right. That's fighting to go in because the joint is moving. That's giving me a problem. Because what it is that ball joint in there that I showed you earlier is moving around. So it's making it hard. Oh, there goes the whole arm. All right. Now that just made things a little bit easier, I guess. So, nope, still fighting. All right. Nope. All right. So the hand's on there. It'll just fit back in that socket easily, but while I got it off, I might as well just go through all the different hands. Okay, that one's on. And now for the last one, which will be the holding hand. Now, that's one thing I do notice about a lot of these S.H.Figuarts figures is that they do come apart pretty easily. You know, and I'm wondering if that's just something designed to make it so, like, you know, you don't break it. I gotta get that arm in there. Yeah, see, that whole piece just came out. That's kind of a in the rear. All right, let me see if I can get this in there. Not, I might have to do it off screen. That's kind of a pain in the rear kind of spot. All right, so what I ended up doing just for this video is I just took this piece off. You know, that way I could just get this back on and finish the video. But it also shows that you could display it without these cufflinks. So if you want it like she just has like sleeves on and stuff, you could do that as well. Like if you want to pretend like the cuffling is rolled up or you want more arm exposure, you can do that. So that is a possibility. So now let's start going through some of her other accessories. So first off, she has this little purse. I think I forget what she kept in there. I'm going to say probably like herbs and stuff like that. I forget, to be honest with you. So that fits on her nicely. No issues with that. All right. Get her hat on her. All right. Her hat fits on her perfectly fine. I don't got any issues with that. Matter of fact, let's bring her forward so you can see her with the hat on. All right. No issues with that. I'll get rid of our stand for now. I'll just hold her. I'll get her staff in this hand. Works fine. No issues. And then last but not least, put the staff over in this hand. All right. Don't have any issues with that. So other than some of the issues that I had with some of the hands, overall, everything seems to work pretty well with her. Okay, so my final thoughts on her is she's a really good figure. I love the overall look to her. She definitely captures the whole look from the manga. All her joints move very well. I don't have any issues with that. Swapping out her accessories and all, they all work very well. I have my standard problems with these Bandai figures where they have the peg going into the hand and not into the wrist because it causes a little bit of problems, as you saw with this figure with the wrong peg coming out, and I had to put it back in to where sometimes that peg just wants to move and it fights you. Now, as for parts coming apart on this figure, I notice that a lot with these Bandai figures, that happens a lot with them. If you watched my Griffith video, you'd see that his arms came off. I did a Zorro video a while back, and I think he came apart at the torso. So all these figures do come apart pretty easily, but they go back together just as easily. I mean, this arm was a little bit of a pain just because of how that cuffling is, but as you see, it's back on. No issues. It took me an extra couple of minutes to mess with it. So if you're a big Berserk fan, I'd highly recommend this figure to go with your Berserk collection. So with that being said, I hope you guys did like this video. If you did, go ahead and check out my Berserk playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.